Hello! Welcome to the 35th Glovecast?
34th.
35th.
Because last week, I was just doing the description for it, and last week you said you thought it was the 34th in the podcast, but it's called the 33rd.
Then I fucked it up.
I think this one is the 34th.
I think this, in my labeling on my computer, it's the 34th.
Well...
We have two 33s in a row, so yeah, I just fucked it up. I'll go fix that right now.
You didn't fuck it up in the way that you named it 34, you fucked it up in the way that you named it 33.
Yeah, I just copy-paste the Glovecast bit, and I forgot to change it. I am currently changing it. How do I do this again? Alright, edit video.
Great content.
Wait for it to load.
Everyone's so happy to... nonsense from us.
Waiting. It takes so long to load.
We'll change the name later. It's okay.
Oh, here it comes. There it is. 34. Okay, I'm done. Save.
Yeah, you're done for the day.
Alright.
Well, welcome back, people.
Welcome back.
We missed a week, but we're always back. Whenever you think we're gone, we're always back.
We missed a week because Adell was sick. Now I'm sick.
Sick. I'm still a bit sick. I have a bit of a stuffy nose, but I'm a
my
lot
throat
better.
hurts so much, but like, talking doesn't really hurt it. It just generally hurts. So, whatever.
Rest in peace. It's okay, Dana. You don't have to... We'll just be here for a bit.
Yeah.
A little casual chat.
Casual chat.
My week. And you tell me about your week.
Well,
it's just begun. And I didn't have any school today, because...
But, like, we had a whole week where we didn't really talk much, because... Or, well, we did do the podcast last week, so that counts as, it's been 2 weeks since we've recorded.
Yeah. So I have stuff to talk about, actually.
Last Glovecast was a fucking mess to get up.
Oh yeah, it ended up coming out like right before or something.
Yeah. I ended up getting it in time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a mess.
I remember, like, Dana tried to upload it, but then it failed.
I tried to render it overnight, but then Mom needed the computer in the morning to do taxes, so she grabbed it. And I had finished it at like 2, and she grabbed it at like 6:30, and it's been taking like 6 to 7 hours to render.
Which sounds way longer than normal.
It's fucking forever. But it's fine, whatever. And so, yeah, it wasn't done rendering yet, so Mom closed it and corrupted it. And then I put it back on again at like noon before I went driving, and then I got back from driving at like 4 and looked at it, and it had corrupted again because it was out of disk space.
Oh, yes.
And then so I didn't get to start it till 4, and as I said, it takes like 6 hours. So that time it took like exactly 6 hours. But I started at like 4:30, so it wasn't done till like 10:30. Which is way too long.
It was like your entire day. It wasn't even editing it, it was pretty much just waiting for it to render.
So yeah, that was fun.
Not really a big deal anymore. That was fun, yes.
Very stressful, very annoying.
In life.
And I procrastinated, because it's Wednesday now, so the Jimmy came up. But because I was feeling terrible, I procrastinated. So I ended up staying up till like 12:30, which I didn't want to do, because I've been super tired. But yeah, whatever.
And sleep from... just for no reason.
I like laid down for a while I was out today, because I was at... it wasn't a normal school day, it was sports day today.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it was not a normal school day for me either.
Yeah, you just did half school. I would rather done
sports day, honestly. Like, this is ridiculous. They have no reason to take us out of school today.
It's a who? Like,
what
affects? What school doesn't have school on a Wednesday?
I know, like, what? It's because it's quote-unquote report card day.
We have a report card day, too. It's just on a Friday.
But it's not for the 11 and 12s, it's only for the 10s. For the younger grades, but I didn't have this last year, I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, I had sports day.
Very strange.
I didn't participate. I just talked to my friends. We sat one of my friends brought a blanket, we put it out on the grass, and we sat and chilled and didn't actually do any of the events because we didn't really want to do that. We watched the events. They were enjoyable to watch. We didn't want to participate in them necessarily, but yeah.
That sounds like pretty nice because it's a beautiful day today.
Except for we did participate in the 2 mandatory events, which were a massive game of Red Rover and flip over a tarp.
Flip over tarp. What were the games like that you didn't participate in?
A general sports day event, or not sports day event, general track and field event. So there was 4x4 relay, 4x1 relay, running, long jump, high jump, and then there was also like a dunk tank and like jousting and yeah, and trivia.
Trivia. Why didn't you participate in the trivia event?
Because I was hanging out with my friends. And I never ended up doing anything in the trivia because I'm slow, and one of the guys on my team is very good at trivia.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's unreasonable how good at trivia he is. Yeah, I know a lot of random things, but, like, he's unreasonably good at trivia. Like, he gets 90% of the questions.
You just let him do it?
Yeah, because I don't have a chance to do it because he's so fast. So yeah, he does it. I didn't worry about it. I just went and chilled in the grass and had a slushie.
Not chilled, you were probably cooking.
I had a slushie. I was chilling. We were in the shade.
Yesterday, it was free slushie day.
I did not know that.
Did you even hear about that?
Nope.
I don't know if, I'm sure it's over there too.
Probably.
But yeah, you can get a free tiny Slurpee if you have an account.
Oh, yeah.
He does this thing where, like, every time he wants a Slurpee, he just, like, makes another account because they give you enough points to get a free Slurpee. So we did that, but then it was also free Slurpee day, so we got freaking 2 free Slurpees. So, because I wanted to try the Ghostbusters flavor.
Okay.
They have a Ghostbusters flavor out right now.
But with the mandatory games that I played, because they were mandatory, the second one, there was a lot of arguing, because what it was is your entire team stands on a tarp, and then you have to flip the tarp completely over, and everyone who steps off, that's a 5-second added time. Every time someone steps off, so that's 5 seconds added to your time. So yeah, makes sense. Those were the rules. We understood the rules. My team and 2 other teams decided the fastest way to do it would be to have everyone get off, flip it over, have everyone get on, and then we're done. And we figured the 5 seconds of 35 people probably would be like equal to the time it actually took to do that with 35 people. And we didn't really want to do it either. But yeah, apparently we got disqualified for that, even though it was in no way against the rules. That was perfectly allowed. And so there was a lot of arguing about how our school tries to teach us how to figure out solutions based on problems, and they didn't tell us we weren't allowed to do that. Why shouldn't we have done that? But yeah, you know.
Yeah, you were in the right here.
Yeah. But yeah, they disqualified us. But whatever. And the other one was Red Rover. And 5-team Red Rover is always interesting.
Play Red Rover?
Yeah. Also, why would you force a whole bunch of kids to play Red Rover? Someone's going to get hurt.
What is it?
Do you know what Red Rover is?
No.
So it's a game where it's supposed to be played with 2 teams, but we do it 5-team. But
because you have an entire school playing it.
So what you do is you all stand in a line and and hold hands, and then you go. If it's your Rose turn, you say, Red Rover, we call blank over. So if you were on the team, I'd probably call you over. And then that person from the other team leaves their line and runs as fast as they can at the other line. And the goal is to make the two people let go. That is what you have to do. If you make them let go, you get to take one of the people back to your team. If you don't, then you have to join their team. And so basically what you do is just run at people's arms and try to make them stop holding hands. And usually someone gets injured. Because it's not a safe game. But it's a chill game. But yeah.
I don't know if something can be like unsafe and chill at the same time.
Yeah, it's not chill. It's just unsafe. But yeah, that's what they do every year. It's chill for me because no one really cares about me, so I don't get called over.
That's true. I feel you. I feel you with like basketball and stuff.
Yeah.
No one ever throws the ball at me. It's kind of just like I'm doing nothing.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what we did. And then me and my friend sat on a blanket. And that was nice.
For 6 hours. That's not bad. That's cool.
Uh-huh. And they gave us hot dogs and chips and pop. And then they have the stand of food. So we got food from there.
Snack shop.
And last year we went and played on the playground, but this year they said we weren't allowed to go on the playground.
Oh yeah, I remember that from last year. You told me that.
Uh-huh. But yeah, no playground for us.
No playground? Why not?
I don't know.
They don't want you to draw dicks in it?
No, it's 'cause this is a closed event. We can't close off the playground, so you're not allowed on the playground.
Oh, so it's a safety thing?
I don't know, because there's lots of people that come into Rotary anyways. There was like 20 extra people around, because you can't ban them from coming in. But yeah, whatever. Yeah. It's mostly, the main rule is just the kids can't leave. Which is quite silly, as we leave normally. Why can't we leave now?
Yeah, it's like lunch.
Yeah.
Lunch, then why don't you just leave and come back? I don't know.
Yeah, that's not allowed. We're not allowed to do that.
Not obligatory.
But yeah. It's whatever. They have teachers at every exit.
That's pretty funny.
And then there's a whole bunch of kids riding around on one wheels. Because that's what always happens.
Your school has more than one wheel?
We have 3, apparently. Well, it's not our schools, it's our principal's, but he lets the students use them during sports day.
Hey, why does he have 3?
I don't know. I'm assuming one of them's like someone else in his family, but like that's what he somehow has access to 3 of them. I know he owns one of them, but he somehow has access to 3 of them.
That's funny. Maybe he goes to the skate park and just uses his one wheel. One's faster, and one's just average.
I think it's probably he's getting the updated versions.
What the heck? How much money does this guy have?
It's because I think his nephew's the one who owns the company or something like that.
Okay.
He has family ties. He has a way to get them family-wise. For the company that makes the one he buys, at least. I don't know if there's multiple companies, but they all seem to look pretty similar, so I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there's multiple companies.
Most likely. But yeah. Somehow he's related to someone who, makes them, and so he gets them. But yeah.
Wait, if you have a chance, ask him about it.
I'm not going to.
You're not going to? Okay. Then we'll never know.
Uh-huh. Cause yeah, I know he somehow has a connection to the person who makes them, the ones he buys, but I don't know what it is exactly. But that's why he has he has them, because he doesn't have to pay full price for them.
So the only kids who are like allowed to use them are like the ones that he trusts.
No, anyone's allowed to use them. They're just around. So it's just kind of, if there's one free, you can get on it.
Let's try it.
I have never tried it. Don't have particularly interest in doing that and fighting some other kid for them.
No, but your friends, like...
There's other people, a lot of people who I consider my friends were riding them around or whatever, but I'm not gonna, like, yeah, sure.
Ask them,
No.
like, how it was. Is it hard to balance?
Probably. Oh.
Is it like a unicycle? But it's just for your feet.
Do you know what the design of a one wheel is?
Yeah, isn't it just like a wheel with
large
like,
wheel in the middle with two paddles on the sides? And you speed it up by leaning and slow it down by leaning.
One of those other ones, the hoverboards. Yeah, I've seen a couple people with those. It's always funny when you see someone with one of those.
With a hoverboard or one wheel?
Or like a one wheel, like either one. They're kind of ridiculous.
One wheels look less ridiculous than hoverboards do.
Hoverboards are whack.
Because hoverboard, you're leaning forward to go forward, and that just with the one wheel, you're leaning towards the direction you want to go, like sideways, and for some reason that looks less dumb than the leaning forward.
For sure.
Because that's
they're
like,
not that bad though.
With one wheels, it's like skateboarding pose. It's just a weird looking thing, but you don't look that different from the skateboarding.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that weird, but it's just funny because it looks like an alien contraption.
That's true. Hoverboards, however, just look funny, because I always imagine someone leaning slightly forward and just having, like, their hands behind their backs.
He's coming for you. In the future, the police are gonna have those.
I've also seen some people use, like, one wheels and hoverboards for, like, filming purposes, because you go quite smoothly on them, and so you can do a moving shot without a whole rig and just have...
So I'm guessing that people don't want to learn how to, like, skateboard, and a bike is absolutely ridiculous to have a camera on.
Skateboard wouldn't work to have a camera on, because you have to put your foot down to move it, and therefore you'll move too much. Skateboard, you have to move yourself more to move them.
Well, the thing, isn't it? It's kind of like the same deal with the one wheel. You have to move yourself to move the.
You have to tilt slightly, same with the hoverboard. But it's only a slight tilt. It's not putting your foot down and pushing off.
I mean, like, on a skateboard, if you have enough speed, like...
Yeah, but when you're filming, you can't have enough speed. You have to move slowly.
Are we going too fast? Yeah, I guess that's right. It's definitely for a lot of useful things, like that, and...
Skateboards definitely work better for, like, moving faster, because those things don't actually move that fast. Especially hoverboards.
No, they're like scooters.
They're quite slow.
Scooters. Not like...
But they're good for moving smoothly. But yeah, I don't know.
You ever seen the electric skateboards?
Yeah, I've seen this. Or, I don't know if I've seen them in real life, but I've seen them on the internet.
Yeah. Like on False Creek or whatever. They can go, like, it's kind of scary because you can make them go, like, extremely fast, and there's no way to... Because you can stop it at any time. Skateboard, you don't stop it.
That's true.
Just by pressing a button, it's like, it has a brake. That's weird.
Yeah. Well,
what's the purpose?
Makes sense.
But also, it makes them, like, designed to break. Because, like, you're gonna break your skateboard just by using it. Skateboard, you can break it and it can just, like, stop working. Like with a skateboard, you pretty much it'll keep working no matter how hard you beat it up.
Well, sort of.
In the top, but you can like replace parts of it. That's the thing about the skateboard. I don't know how the electric skateboard works. Like if it has.
I'm assuming you can replace bits of it, but yeah.
I'm not sure if you can use like normal like wheels or trucks or whatever.
I doubt
if you need
it.
to get special ones for the electric skateboard.
There's no way you could use normal trucks.
Electric part comes in?
Because that's where the electric bit would be.
Yeah. Like those. You can't. Like a normal skateboard. Like you can't like do tricks with it. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are more for just moving places. Hence why they're generally designed like long boards, I believe.
They're usually flat. Little short long boards.
Yeah.
Oxymoron.
But yeah, it's a different purpose. You're not going to use it for doing tricks, but you don't always want to do tricks on a skateboard. Some people just want to use their skateboard to get from point A to point B.
But then why don't you just ride it normally and get some exercise while you're doing it?
Because they don't want to do that. They want to go fast.
They want to go fast and they want to
have minimal effort.
For lazy people.
Yeah.
That's why I guess it's like whatever. It's not that cool. I wouldn't mind trying one though, just to see like.
I mean, better than a car.
At least it doesn't use gas.
Basically, anything's better than a car, though.
Yeah, I don't like cars. I'm not one for cars, really.
And a good thing about that would be if you're using it to, like, get to a bus, it's not that big.
Put it in the bus, a skateboard. That's true.
And so if electric skateboard, because you don't want to do so much effort, then, yeah.
Bike? Then you can't bring an electric scooter on the bus either.
No.
No, there is definitely a benefit to it.
I can see why people would have it.
You just feel like, yeah, instead of having to walk up the hill.
My dad used to have an electric bike, but it was designed so it basically just looked like a motorcycle.
It was just a little motorcycle, like a little electric scooter?
Yeah, but motorcycle like body type, but it was small. And it had, because it was, you didn't need a license for it, because it was technically a bike, and it had a little pedal, but it only had one pedal. And it just kind of dangled along on the ground. But that made it technically legal to have without a motorcycle license.
Is it really fast? Or did it still go slow like a bike?
It went quite slow. Like, it could get up to, like, 30 maybe. Like, it did not go, like, proper street speeds. But yeah.
Kinda cool though. And bikes and stuff, like take them around town.
And you can see why my dad didn't use a normal bike. That wouldn't have worked particularly well.
Oh yeah, if you don't know, listeners, her dad had only one leg.
Yeah, my dad was missing a leg. And therefore, you can't really ride a bike without the second leg to push down, unless you somehow strap the pedal onto your foot to pull up as well. Imagine how terrible that would be.
Yeah.
Like trying to pedal a bike with one foot.
It'd be really hard. Unless you, like, somehow pedal it. The left one or the right one with your arm as you're holding on. That would be terrible.
That's not how arms work.
Well, if you had, like, a stick to do it, that's what I'm thinking.
Maybe? Still really dumb.
But then you would have no balance.
Yeah, then you couldn't steer properly.
You can steer very well, and you get into an accident.
Uh-huh. Yeah, just stick with the electric bike if you're missing a leg. How about that?
Yeah. This is why we have adaptations for people with handicaps.
Mm-hmm. Not that my dad was willing to use any of those.
They're only here to help, okay? I don't know, we have...
And our adaptations aren't great.
Of them, like, for example, elevators.
Yeah. Those ones are useful.
Elevators are super useful.
They're not... The problem is how... There's a lot of them that are useful, but also, like, too rare, you know?
Yeah.
Like, elevators need to be, like, everywhere, and they just aren't, you know?
Oh, maybe around there. There's... And at least in the train stations, every train station has an elevator.
Mm-hmm. When it's not out of order.
Yeah, when it's not out of order. Like, half the time there's one out of order.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. And,
Look at how often they're out of order. That's the problem.
I don't know. It's because people who don't need it use it.
Uh-huh. And
when I'm using the elevator and, like, some, like, lady goes in it, and I was using it because my mom broke her foot.
Uh-huh.
A lot easier.
That makes sense.
Like, there's all these people that don't need to go there, and I'm like, oh, man. What if, like, there's a person in a wheelchair?
But you can't, like, you can't judge the people based on appearance of whether or not they need to use it. Like, it's true, a lot of them probably don't, but...
They seem to walk fine.
There's a lot of people who can walk, but only for short distances.
That's true.
Like, overexertion happens really quickly, and so stairs aren't a good idea. So...
That's true. Some people are probably like that, yeah. You shouldn't be so harsh to judge people.
Yeah, never insult someone for using a disability service if you don't think they need it, because they could very well need it, you know?
Yeah, because you don't know them.
There's a lot of cases of people using, like, disability spots and getting, like, angry notes about how, I saw you, you're not disabled. And then they have severe disabilities that aren't visual. Like,
yeah.
People who will, like, only can walk a little bit before they, like, pass out. That's a thing that happens. But they might not look terrible.
For, like, whatever amount of time, and then after that they can take a break.
Yeah. Yeah, there's this weird, like, judgment of anyone who's using, disability services that doesn't look physically disabled, but they could need it, so never, unless you know them, it's not up to you to judge.
That's true.
If it's your friend and they're using the elevator and you're like, you don't need that, then okay, sure. But yeah.
There's just something that really annoying about the idea that someone picking one of these options because it's easier.
Uh-huh.
Like, there are people, like, this is for certain people that, like, don't have another option.
Uh-huh. Not that, I don't really, with elevators, I don't really have much of a problem with people who don't need it using the elevator, because that doesn't, like, that, A, will make it so that it's maintained better.
Yeah.
That's not gonna, like, wear it out faster necessarily, because it's, like, if people are always using something, they'll maintain it. And you see how elevators in tall buildings that people constantly use the elevators don't break down as often? Because they're maintained properly. And the problem is these train stations aren't maintaining them properly because they're not really... You can take the stairs, they're not worried about it.
Yeah, that's the problem. But the thing is, like, few people, disabled people who need to take it a day,
yeah,
like, they need to take it to get somewhere, and they rely on it.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta call my friend to drive me.
Exactly. So I think it's, like, if you're using it and you're not disabled, then okay, that's fine. in my
No,
opinion.
I guess it's just the idea, really. It's not really the practice. It's because it's not like there's all these people who need it who just can't get in. It's empty, right?
Yeah,
Literally.
and that's not gonna. I feel like if more people using it, the more likely they're gonna keep it maintained, so people don't get mad at them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely believe in maintenance of them. But yeah, it's...
Oh yeah, maintenance and everything. I believe that things should be maintained instead of torn down and rebuilt, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Of course, there's a certain point where replacement is better. But fix it.
To an extent, but we need to, like, try to keep old things.
Yeah.
But, like, you still keep the old thing, you know? But, like, move everyone who's living in it or doing school or whatever in it, move that to a different building, but keep the building as, like, a heritage building.
Yeah, but we can't do that everywhere. We need the space.
Everywhere.
But yeah, there are buildings I think should be protected as heritage buildings.
And stuff
if
like,
you can maintain it. One problem is all these buildings that people are like, no, you can't tear down, it's heritage. No one's maintaining them.
Yeah, they should be maintaining them, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's, like, more important than people make it out to be.
Yeah. I believe it's keeping heritage, but yeah, there's a certain point where buildings, like, that's not really worth keeping. But there are buildings that are totally worth keeping. And until they go unmaintained for too long, and then it's whatever.
That's pretty much it.
I know there's a lot of people who just wait for buildings to fall down.
Yeah, and then they buy the land.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of farmers who wait for their own barns to just fall down because that's cheaper than getting it torn down professionally. That's a really common thing, actually. That's why you see so many, like, really old, falling apart barns on, like, really nice places.
Yeah.
It's because they just are waiting for it to fall down. Though, it's better than the strategy that my grandpa used to use of just burn it down.
Yeah, I mean, that must have worked in your grandpa's time, but nowadays we learn that, like, burning things down is bad for the environment.
Yeah, but yeah, it didn't work particularly well in his time either, because that's like the 70s at that point. 70s, 80s. Yeah, he got in a bit of trouble from the fire department, who got called out because there was a barn on fire. Because you're not supposed to just set your barn on fire. But
it's dangerous, though, because fire spreads.
Uh-huh. And then just have all your kids stand around and watch it.
I was watching this documentary yesterday about circuses in, like, the early 20th century.
Mm-hmm.
And how, like, one of the biggest circuses ended up stopping is because it got burned down.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
And it killed a lot of people because it was huge, and there was a lot of people watching the circus and, like, performers and stuff, and, like, they couldn't get away fast enough.
Yeah.
And it's all made of, like, tarp, so it just, like, so quickly. And that's basically how it ended, circuses. And also, like, animal rights and stuff. I don't know, circuses were a really mixed bag because there's a lot of good things about them because, like, for, like, women and, like, people who were, like, deformed or whatever, who, like, were kind of, like, freaks. It, like, gave them a chance to make some money. But it also, like, abused animals and
those people themselves.
In the documentary I watched, it kind of said, like, you know, they supported each other, so they kind of had their own support group, but conditions.
But yeah, there was a lot of problems with the people being abused as well and those things, like, because where else can you go? So it depends. It depends on the circus, of course. Some circuses were better than others. But yeah.
Well, yeah, some small circuses, of course, they're bad, but I'm thinking about, like, the biggest circus in the documentary.
Yeah, that specific one was probably fine, but there was a lot of them that were bad.
It was, like, just fine, though. Like, the living conditions obviously were not very good because they had to be in these cars all the time.
Not great, because you're on the road all the time. But yeah, now there's, like, no more traveling circuses.
Oh, it's just because they're pretty much, it's hard to make them illegal, you know?
Yeah.
Legal without making them boring.
Uh-huh.
Expensive. It's just not a very financially... or people just want to look at the TVs.
Mm-hmm.
I went to see a circus as a kid. I remember with clowns and acrobats and stuff.
Uh-huh. That's cool.
So circuses are pretty good, like, especially, like... Well, we still have, Cirque du Soleil. That's really popular.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's different. That's not considered a traveling circus.
It's not really traveling. It's more like a...
It's a traveling stage show for sure. It's not a traveling...
It's inspired by a circus, pretty much.
It's circus inspired, yes. But it
does
doesn't
kind of
classify as a traveling circus.
The closest things we have now, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's renowned and people know about it.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. It's an interesting part of history because circuses were, like, really popular.
Yeah. Partly probably because there wasn't much... Like, you couldn't just go online and watch something. You had to go out and watch something. In real life.
Oh, they were, like, language barrier? So, like, I remember there was, like, a part it was saying, like, immigrants were coming from, like, Mexico or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Speak English. And they could see the circus anyways, and they were paying lots of money for the circus, even though they'd... what any of these signs meant.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
It's just weird how we used to do things in the day.
Yeah.
It is interesting. It's on Netflix.
Might have to watch it sometime.
If you ever want background noise or something.
Alright. Something that's cool. Been happening a lot. Is that you booping or me booping?
I'm not booping, but I hear some construction outside.
No, I'm hearing the Discord boops, and I'm not quite sure where it's coming from.
Let me just...
I'm gonna just put myself on some Do Not Disturb.
I'm gonna do that. It might be me.
Oh, I'm totally getting notifications.
I mean, it might be from a server. No one texted me specifically, but I might be getting something.
I see them coming in. I just, I'm used to having the thing at the bottom.
Yeah.
And it's not, because that just didn't work.
Tell them to reply to... You'll reply to them later.
It's a group chat, so I just put myself on Do Not Disturb. Okay,
yeah.
So what's been happening a lot at my school recently is insulting PETA.
PETA?
Because they're all kind of annoyed.
What did PETA do?
PETA had a protest, which is generally fine. I have nothing wrong with protests. The problem is when you break onto private property, break into their barn, and that's a problem. When you're breaking the law for your protest is a problem, you know?
I don't know, what did they do exactly?
So basically, they had a protest inside of the barn of the family of one of the grade 11s of my school. And they filmed a whole bunch of video. They spent like a couple weeks. They hit a bunch of hidden cameras like a couple weeks ago. And they knew about that because they got caught doing that. In a pig farm. That's like a member of the school community. And they like, in their videos, they're like lying and shit. And people are like, that's just not true.
Really badly treated pig farm, then...
Yeah, but this is one of the best, like, this is like, that farmer takes really good care of its pigs. They got the vet that came in like a month ago gave all the pigs like a perfect bill. Like, it's a really good farm.
Even a vet that comes in is actually pretty reputable. So... I think they're just trying to make drama, it sounds like.
Yeah, so yeah, they had about 60 people that all just... And so the farmers lost a lot because all these people being in the barn stressed out the pigs, so a bunch of the pigs miscarried. Because that's what happens when you stress out animals. And they, in their, like, multiple days of filming, got about 1 minute and 30 seconds of bad footage. Like, footage that they could show because it was, oh, look what these terrible farmers are doing.
Yeah.
And one of them is the birthing pens. And they're talking about how the pigs spend their entire lives in these pens. Because just before a pig gives birth, they're put in a very small pen that they can't lay down in. Because they will lay down and they will crush, like, all the babies.
Yeah.
That's something pigs do. They will lay down and kill all of the babies. And so just before they give birth, they're put in these small pens where they can't lay down in a way that will kill the babies. And so then the video's going on about how that they're kept in that pen for their entire life, which is simply not true. They're kept in that pen for maximum a week, usually like a couple days.
They're finished giving birth.
Yeah. As soon as they've given birth, they're taken out of there, and they're not put in there till, like, really close to giving birth.
Yeah, that makes sense. They'd move them to keep them safe when they're having children.
Yeah, but of course, the video's like, oh, they're kept in there their entire life, which would be really bad. But they're not.
It really is disappointing because there is a lot of injustice towards animals around here.
They could have done a farm that actually does bad things, but they want to go for a big guy. They want to go for it because he's like he somehow has a very high position in the farming community, and keeps his farm real nice. And yeah, it's like that. And it's looking around this farm, and it's all these like really healthy looking pigs and this really it's well kept up barn and everything's clean, and like one of their bad thing was that the pig is laying down in the dirt. It's a pig.
Are you serious?
They do that.
Yeah. Did they let them out? Like, are they like...
No, not, those pigs don't really get out of the barn, no. Which isn't great. But they have...
It's not the worst, though.
No. And then they were going on about how there's no windows and no venting, but there is venting. There's just not open windows because birds.
Yeah.
A bird in a pig farm is not a pig barn is not a good thing. So of course it's all vented because it needs to be vented to keep the pigs healthy. But you don't have those at the top because birds.
Pretty practical farm. Like it's not unethical, but it's not like,
no,
the best, nicest farm.
No, it's not like it's a for-profit farm. But they keep their pigs are very well taken care of.
Yeah, this farmer still has like morals when it comes to treating animals, which is good.
Yeah, they had some interviews with him, and he's clearly very upset about people saying he's abusing his pigs. 'Cause he doesn't. He takes good care of his pigs. But yeah.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of the families of the kids from my school were there because they're supporting him, and the family that's there, and they don't want to leave them. They were expecting this. They didn't know which farm they were going to, but some of the rules is never be alone with the protesters, never do this or that. It's not particularly safe. And they had a whole bunch of the other farmers be there to watch what they were doing, make sure they didn't kill any animals, because they've done that in protests before. So yeah, called the police. But yeah.
See, I don't know.
So yeah, because the kids at my school know what was going on behind their video, everyone's just kind of their video is such shit.
Yeah, it's good to know the truth. It's cool that you can get it from the actual guy and figure out what the truth is.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's interesting.
It's interesting to see how you can just alter the perspectives of an event or a person just because of how you're shooting it or what you're saying.
It's very easy to alter ideas through video.
Just through audio, through
any sort of media. I do the same thing in like essays and stuff. I just omit certain things that don't look good sometimes. Like if I'm doing an essay,
yeah, of course.
Like I'm not going to add the points against me necessarily. But like but that's partly because essays I don't fully believe. But you know, it's perfectly easy to just not say something. Of course, I would do that for something I actually like cared about. But you know how school essays are.
Yeah, I definitely do that. I bullshit like every single one.
Yeah, that's what you do. And you could do that in real life too. And if your audience doesn't know the facts, then ta-da, you've convinced them. Like, those arguments are really easy to tear apart, but if you're not looking for them to be torn apart, then you can't change someone's opinion. Like, if someone's convinced of something, there's nothing you can say that will directly, immediately change their opinion. They might over time change their opinion, because that happens. But, like, an argument will never change someone's opinion.
I mean,
if they have a strong opinion. But it can convince someone who doesn't have a strong opinion. But yeah, like, it's interesting.
Open their mind to be, like, more accepting towards the other idea.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, it's very easy through any sort of media to just omit things, lie, and convince people of whatever you want.
Yeah, you can just say, oh, it's my interpretation, but, you know, some things are just...
This is why, like, if I'm reading some, like, thing of, like that, it's like, I will always, even if I fully agree with them already, I will often go in there and be like, okay, how can I pick apart their argument?
Yeah, that's smart.
Like, right now, we're in English, we have to read, an article called Who Invented Human Rights and Why It's a Problem for Atheists, which is basically saying that human rights come from God and none of the other arguments for where human rights come from have any anything. And it's kind of like, that one's a bit like, okay.
Yeah, that one's kind of out there. I don't know.
It's like, yeah, you're just doing little blurbs on all these other ideas. And I don't feel like you're accurately representing what these people you're stating stuff from think. Like, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
In class we're also reading a lot of articles. I think it's really boring.
I'm reading Fahrenheit 451. That's a good book. And yeah.
They made a movie of that, didn't they?
I don't know.
Teacher's into that, like she's all into that. Is it like this kind of...
It's a dystopian future novel.
Yeah, she likes...
That's our current unit, dystopian future. My teacher also really likes dystopian future. He had a big speech of why he likes it. And
it's so boring. We're talking about, like... Yeah, of course you do, like, Baby It's Cold Outside. That song.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And everyone, like, made this controversy about it. You remember, like, during Christmas?
No.
No matter. People made controversy about it this year.
You'd be in grade 11, so that's I know in grade 11 what they taught us is arguing and like how to argue in controversy and all this stuff.
Yeah, basically this type of stuff, but I don't think it's very fun. Because of what we're studying, it's like politics and stuff.
We were allowed, what we did is we had a project where we were allowed to have any point of view we wanted on any issue. Basically any issue. There were some limits. But we had to, and then we did our little presentation, and then you sit in a circle, and anyone can, people will fight opinions. Like, you offer your actual opinion on that, and argue.
Cool.
And so what I did, I believe, was safe injection sites and why they're a good thing. Because that's something I believe in. They are a good thing.
Like, what do you mean?
So, you know how people are addicted to drugs, right? That's the thing that happens. Safe injection sites are places set up by usually the government where they make sure you can get clean needles, there's doctors, they can check how much of the specific drug you have, you'll overdose on, things like that. It's a minimize the hurt type of thing. It's the idea that yes, people are addicted to drugs, we can't stop that, so instead we'll keep them alive. You know? That type of thing?
Yeah. I would probably be on for that, but...
Yeah. And so we argued that, yes, they should be a thing. They save thousands of lives. And, like, no one agreed with us. Everyone was trying to argue with us of how they...
Yeah, but it's because people don't know the facts.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't really know either, so I would not really know how to...
Mm-hmm. I believe that life comes first, like, making sure these people are safe come first.
Yeah, life before the law.
It, like, massively brings down the amount of overdoses, massively brings down the amount of, like, different diseases that are transmitted by blood, because people will share needles and things and use dirty needles and whatever. And so if you have a place you can access clean needles, then that will help. You know?
Because a lot of people who are addicted to, like, heroin and other drugs that you need to use a needle to take.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like...
Yeah.
I don't know what the best way to help someone is. I don't know. It's tough. We have shelters and stuff, but...
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
It's hard, just it's such a big problem.
Yeah, it is.
That's something you could do now, though. Just because of how big the problem is right now.
Uh-huh.
And, like, yeah, we have other things, more practical things, like food and stuff, but...
But, like, if someone's addicted, if they don't want to change, you can't make them change. It's just...
No, and... weird, like, even if you want to change, your body's like, no.
Even if you want to change, it's difficult. If you aren't fully committed to changing, you won't. And so, you can't force people to change. It just doesn't work. So instead, just keep them alive. And hopefully one day they will want to change. Because it's not particularly good for you. But...
What arguments did you get against it? Did you get, like, any good arguments?
Not really. Main argument was money. And that it will, like, promote drug use. The money one is just wrong, because it saves so much money.
The money is wrong, and I also don't think it promotes drug use, because...
The money one's wrong, not because it's worth the money to save people's lives. It's wrong because it's just incorrect. Having these, centers saves, like, thousands, and even, like, millions of dollars. Like, it saves a lot of money. Because these people aren't going to the hospitals. At least in Canada, because we have public health care. And so if someone overdoses, it takes a lot more money to save them than it does to prevent the overdose.
Yeah.
So the money one's just plain incorrect.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue that. I would argue just...
But yeah.
Thing. But it's hard to say because what is the right thing?
Uh-huh. Man, yeah, it's a difficult question.
Such a big problem. I friggin' go to the park, like, after it gets dark, there's so many people.
Yeah. That's another advantage to the safe injection sites, is less people doing drugs in the park.
Yeah. Public parks, certain public parks. None of them really close to my house, but, like, when I'm taking the train home or something, like... Like, oh boy. Gotta walk past this.
Don't want kids picking up needles or anything like that, you know?
Oh, that's freaky. And have you noticed in like the bathrooms in like downtown McDonald's or whatever, they have like boxes where you can put your needles now too?
I don't. I'm assuming in Vancouver.
They have some over there too.
Mm.
That's why it's so funny. Like even over there, like at one of the McDonald's, there are a few of them.
It makes sense.
Us.
Because the problem is people throw them in the garbage cans, and that's so dangerous for the people who empty the garbage cans and the like garbage men.
Animals that might get in the trash or something.
Yeah, so they'll generally be fine. It's mainly like the garbage men. That's what they're called, right? I don't know.
The garbage men, yeah.
Yeah, because we don't want them getting. It's the same reason why you should never put glass in just put glass in the garbage.
Yeah.
Don't do that either.
They rip apart the bags too.
They rip apart the bags, they can cut the garbage man, and that's no fun. No one wants that. And yeah.
Oh, he was doing his job.
Mm-hmm. Alright, you know what time it is?
No.
Quiz time.
4:30.
Quiz time.
Okay. What are we doing today, Madame Dana?
The How Cringe Are You quiz.
Which is not a real sentence, but how cringe are we?
Let's find out. Whoever is more cringy wins. First question. How many OCs do you have? OC equals original character.
Lost count, like 500. I like my characters. I think 2 or 3 is a good amount. About 10, 20 to 30. I don't make OCs. Some, but I don't use them, so I'll just say lost count.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we do have OCs, because that's just original characters, so yeah. Probably about 10.
I've used over the course of my life, but I don't use them, so.
Yeah, actually, yeah, lost count. As in, ones that we've made for, like, various ideas or whatever. Have you fangirled over any of these characters? Bendy, Cuphead, Purple Guy, Naruto, Sans, Barney the Dinosaur, Baldi, none, Papyrus, Sal Fisher, none.
I've fangirled over freaking Naruto. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm gonna go with none.
Ironically, though, I really like Cuphead.
You do. That is true.
But also Naruto. I picked Naruto. Did you pick none?
I picked none. Do you read Reader X blank stories? No, those are so weird. Why do people make
those? Are weird.
Like, cause I have like jokes about reading fanfiction or whatever. So I have. Remember when I got you the Ness X Reader fanfiction?
It was like an innocent one, though.
It was an innocent one. It wasn't so creepy. They're still fucking weird.
Sweet one. I mean,
especially since most of the people reading them, like, most of the characters they're about are, like, adults, and most of the people reading them are probably, like, 10.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Black. Let's not get into that right now. So, do you like anime?
Yes, I do.
It's kawaii.
Not really. It's okay, I guess. Yeah.
It's okay, I guess. I like anime to an extent.
I'm gonna go with yeah. It's good. I like it. I'll watch it. Just as much as I'll watch any other show that I find interesting.
Me too.
Would you consider yourself crazy or psychopathic? No, not sure. Yee! Or yes?
No.
No.
I would not.
Though, as our like, 12-year-old selves probably.
Yes. Well, should we be taking this as a 12-year-old?
No. Current selves. We haven't done it already, so we can't start now.
Have you seen my pen?
Are you
tsundere?
No.
Probably, but I'm gonna say no. Honestly, I'm probably kind of a tsundere.
Last question. Do you use words such as XD or new? Please follow me so that my friend will leave me alone. No. You use XD.
I don't use XD.
How cringe
I use
are
the
you?
colon.
I'm nope, smiley face. Yay, you're
I
pure
am nope,
great
smiley
person.
face.
Okay, what are our numbers? I got 6 for
12-year-old
nope
garbage.
and 1 for 12-year-old garbage.
I have 1 for 12. No, we tied.
Shit. Okay, now answer as our 12-year-old selves. How about that?
Okay, are we gonna do it again then?
I guess. How
Because
many OCs do you have? I don't make OC. I didn't make OCs when I was my cringy 12-year-old self. Unless you
was
call
12,
them
I made a
Bratz
lot.
characters. You made a lot of OCs.
I'll say like 500. I don't know. 20 or 30? About 10 is probably how many I had. I'll say about 10.
Okay, the fangirling one, I also didn't really fangirl when I was
12?
12.
Over these things?
over these
I was
things.
into Homestuck. I was into Homestuck when I was 12.
But you did definitely fangirl when you were 12.
I'll just say the Undertale one. Where's
Yeah,
the
just do
Undertale
the
one?
Undertale.
Makes sense.
Did you read?
Frick
Did you read Reader X stories? No, still found them creepy.
No, I still didn't read those.
Do you like anime? Yeah.
I made that much. But I would say yeah, I guess. I was starting to watch it.
Do you consider yourself crazy? What if we? It's probably yes or ye.
Yee.
Ye. Yeah. I'm just gonna say yes. I still don't know what this is, so I'm still gonna go no.
Anyway, it's just like character type.
Okay. Do you words such as XD or new? No. Didn't use those.
I used. I did it as my 12-year-old self, and I am still a pure great person.
Yes, but what are your
How are you?
answers? I got 6 for
2.
nope, 1 for 12-year-old garbage. Still.
5 and 2.
Okay, so you win.
Oh, wow. This quiz isn't very good.
No.
Next time, let's do how cool are you?
Alright. Is that by the same person?
It was just recommended. And I like the image. It's like this anime girl. It
Alright.
says perfect human.
Well, shall we say goodbye?
Farewell. Farewell, listeners. Thank you.
Bye,
for listening.
everyone. Thank you for listening.